Kayfabe was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect it.
But to be the man, you gotta be 316 says I just worked you. We are the generation that eat. You make the rules, and we will. Who is booking this crap? Oh boy, more of that. WWE stands for.
This is the Kayfabe Ave podcast.
This is Kayfabe Ave podcast.
And I'm Kayfabe Agent. And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
Position I'd rather not be in, but the cream runs to the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Kayfabe Avenue, and I'm your host, Kayfabe AJ, along with
Kayfabe Focus.
Kayfabe Focus. So, recently, we've been in a little hiatus. The show will go on, of course. We still have spotlight topics coming up. Look for that Owen Hart video. In the meantime of our little hiatus, we have the WrestleMania video.
Oh, yes.
It's an hour-long video, but it shows our whole journey through Access. We show you everything Access has to offer. On top of that, we show you live footage from WrestleMania 35 on the field. Focus and myself were actually there at MetLife. Yep. So check that video out. It's on the channel now. So for those actually wondering why we've taken a couple weeks break, besides WrestleMania 35, my general feeling, I'm pretty sure Rich, who's not here with us today, I'm pretty sure you agree.
Yep.
WWE sucks right now.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Now,
I can't even watch it.
It's unbearable. I try to watch it. I end up, getting distracted or just straight up changing the channel. So it's been a little bit hard to bring you the This Week in Wrestling's content. On top of that, YouTube has now changed their format for how we can go live. So, unfortunately, because of YouTube's rulings, we will no longer be having live YouTube versions of the show. But with that being said, we're going to try to edit everything and bring you the best quality video possible. YouTube jumped up from, just having the freedom to go live whenever you want, as long as you're verified through that little 24-hour ruling. You can go live. Now you have to have 1,000 subscribers. You have to have a whole bunch of hours worth of content. YouTube, another way they trying to screw over the content creators. But
those are the content creators.
Let's get into this at the end of the day. This is about wrestling. So WWE. Let's just get that out the way, because I really don't want to spend too much time talking about WWE because I have nothing good to say right now.
I think that WWE needs a whole rebranding and restructuring of not only management but talent as well, and how talent is treated. And I feel like it would not be a success if Vince McMahon is in operations and acting on what to do with people and such.
But Vince McMahon, honestly, I'm usually the one out the group of us that tries to see the business side and what's happening behind the scenes outside of just my fandom. But Vince McMahon has become a legitimate problem. He's been rewriting the shows up to 2-3 hours before they go on air every week. It's been an issue. Writers getting fired.
Quitting.
Writers getting fired, quitting. We have long-term backstage talent like Dean Malenko quitting the company. They recently got rid of Art Anderson. So, what's the deal? They have all this grade A talent. They have some of the best talent in the industry that the industry has to offer. You know, of course, there's some greats outside of WWE. For the most part, they have the biggest pool of talent. Why are they not being booked properly? Why are the writers having such a hard time booking them in a way where we can maintain interest and they don't suffer by the wins and losses? You don't bury, brand new talent. So what do you think are some of the things WWE can do to actually shift gears and get back on track?
I feel that WWE just needs restructuring. They need to take Vince McMahon out of the chairman role, out of creative, and definitely creative. They need to get somebody else up there. Some people probably pick Triple H. Whoever.
He seems like a no-brainer choice.
I feel like they just need to take Vince out because right now he's overseeing 2 shows that are about to have big contract deals. So, and they're talking about how the ratings are getting lower and lower, and that Fox
Speaking
Fox
of the ratings,
Fox could cancel
if they don't get 3 million views.
Before.
But speaking on the ratings, SmackDown has the lowest rating of viewers about a week or 2 ago. The lowest viewership in the history of SmackDown. They were, I think, below like 1.4 million people or something like that. And Raw as well. They're making history.
They're making
in a negative
right now.
Yeah, they're making history in a negative way. And this is just a sign of the times. There's other companies out there, Impact, Ring of Honor, most notably AEW being started, and their Double or Nothing event is in a week, 2 weeks. So they have a lot of other promotions gunning for that spot. AEW looks like it's going to be the main one because of the billionaire backing that it has, the billionaire support
from Tony Khan.
And it's just a sign of the times. WWE's wrapped up in storylines that start and stop. That we lose. They never get paid off. We lose the canon of what's going on. They don't stick to their own canon. And my biggest issue is stop talking about it and be about it. We have a situation with Becky 2 belts. Ever since WrestleMania, I've lost interest in Becky. And it's not her fault. It's the fact that they once again book her with Charlotte. And then on Raw, who did they book her with? Lacey Evans, who is being booked as Charlotte 2.0. And
basically,
this is literally
the same feud and 2 different brands.
They've already, I think the numbers came back and they were like 9 or 10 straight pay-per-views against each other.
Yeah.
We can go a pay-per-view without Becky versus Charlotte. This is getting ridiculous at this point.
There's other females on the roster that they could put in Charlotte's place.
Right now, we have Sasha Banks, who is no longer showing up to work. She took her ball and went home. And while the internet and the fans on the boards are bombarding Sasha with negative feedback and holding Sasha accountable and saying she's a baby for what she's doing, and I agree with her.
I agree too.
You bust your ass for a whole year to get this women's tag team division started. You finally get it. You make it a point to say that you're going to defend on not only Raw, but SmackDown and NXT, and you never get the opportunity to. And the Iconics aren't even doing that right now. You have to win one pay-per-view, and then you lose at WrestleMania. Now, I was happy for the Iconics, and knock against them. They deserve a fucking win.
But not yet. Not anytime soon.
I think they've been deserved it. They're good heroes, great talkers, great character personalities.
The inaugural tag team champions, Bayley and Sasha Banks, should have had a long reign with the title. I
definitely agree.
Just to start it, like, this is our first champion. Think about how Pete Dunne just had his long ass reign after he defeated Tyler Bate for it. And how it was prestigious and everything.
Pete Dunne went what, 400, 500 days, something like that.
Like probably even more. I forgot.
That's a reign, and we get it. The main shows, there's a lot of people. They have to cycle a lot of people, but you don't make an inaugural women's tag team championship and then have the champions lose within a month and a half of earning them. We've been building towards this. The fans have been asking, if we're the authority now, why are you half-ass listening? don't give us instant gratification situations like Kofi Kingston. I might be in the minority on this view, but I feel like Kofi Kingston was shoved down our throats. I felt Kofi Kingston, yes, he put in the work 11 years, but has he ever really been that guy that we can expect to deliver promo-wise, deliver in ring, and have the full package? It's not just what you do in the ring, it's also what you bring to the vignettes, what you bring to media, what you bring to these promo builds. Are you putting asses in seats? That's the question. And I feel like his reign is the New Day's reign.
Yep.
It's not Kofi Kingston's reign.
They freebirded.
Everybody
that
was like, "Oh, it's not about that. It's about the 11 years and the things he put in." Right, but there's people who've gone 30, 40 years and never won a heavyweight championship and was still a legend.
They're still legends.
So that doesn't matter to me how many years you put it into the business.
Care about that belt.
Because now people want this instant gratification, and you give us Kofi Kingston taking Ali's act. People forgot that was Ali's storyline.
Yeah.
Like Mustafa Ali, if you don't know who I'm talking about, since WWE likes to cut names to just one name now. So Ali's storyline just got picked up by Kofi, and people ran with it. Now, I was heavily interested. I was excited for Kofi. It made history. First fully black WWE champion in the history. He's also now a Grand Slam champion.
Yep.
It's great. It's great for the culture. It's great for history. But did Kofi deserve that? I'd rather see it on Big E.
That's debatable.
I'd rather see it on Big E.
I'd rather see it on Xavier Woods.
I'd rather see it on Xavier Woods, because you know what? Xavier and Big E are the reasons I was invested. Kofi didn't cut one promo in that whole build-up to WrestleMania that made me say, I believe in this guy. He finally shows the passion and finally shows that want to be the world champion. Not just, okay, Xavier, cut your promo. Yeah, he's right, baby. Like, no, you don't. You gotta come from. It gotta come from you, not Big E, the super ultra hype man.
Who's doing the splits for you?
Who's doing
literally doing the splits.
You know,
injuring himself just so you can get that WWE championship.
It just doesn't make sense to me. And now, yes, they're building Kofi as the fighting champion. He's been defending his title damn near every night, week in and week out. But are we really invested in anything storyline wise? Kofi's all over the place right now.
He's on Raw. He's on SmackDown.
So yeah, and nothing seems to legitimize him to me. If I don't want a champion throwing pancakes and gyrating his hips.
Yeah.
And even if he still did that, you have to be able to promo for yourself. None of his promos give me the idea that this guy wants it and this is real right now.
Nah, he doesn't. It doesn't seem like he wants it that much. It seems like he just he's thrown in that position. He's just happy to be here, and that's been the biggest issue with WWE. A lot of the stars in the back are just happy to be here, and that's not what it takes to be the best. Daniel Bryan had to go through all the. You have to break the rules.
Daniel Bryan had to go through all of it, suspended, fired, everything, just to break his character through, and we felt his passion. That's why Daniel Bryan is one of the greatest of all time, arguably, at this point in his career. I'm just not a believer of the Kofi Kingston reign, and then it's just horrible. It's just horrible writing. You have Kofi tease with Seth a undisputed championship match. You have Becky, who's the literal undisputed champion, but has yet to be recognized as. They want her known as Becky Two Belts. You tease the Raw and SmackDown titles, fighting for. You guys have a fucking viewership problem. Put the Raw and SmackDown on the same shows. Learn how to build stables.
That's actually what Fox said.
Fox and USA are pushing for that. That's why we get to this Vince McMahon wild card rule, which was a bullshit way to distract the fans from the fact that, we fucked up, so we're gonna give you this because you've been asking for it already, but I'm gonna give it to you in a way where it looks like I came up with the idea originally, and that was kind of what they were going for on the Raw that I got to catch. It was stupid.
It's dumb.
It makes Vince McMahon look dumb after all these years he's been on top. It makes the product just look trash.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Like I said, don't just talk about it. Be about it. One champion, one heavyweight champion, one mid-card champion. Not even. We can still keep the Intercontinental United States Championships. I feel we can keep that.
I feel like the United States is like a third tier belt.
It is because the way they treat it, but you could keep. I won't even touch the Intercontinental United States, but the two male tag team championships, we don't need it, especially when we're trying to give spotlight to the women's tag team
They
champions.
should change that to the trios champions.
Or that, the Freebird Championship that is for three people. You know, learn how to build stables. If you don't want every superstar going to each show so you can give more space, that's fine. Just have your champions jump from show to show and be able to defend on any show because they're champions. And that's what the hell they're supposed to do. Everyone else should be earning this. Build your stables. Win and losses need to finally fucking matter. Like, I'm usually the WWE guy in the group, and I just can't even watch. I can't defend it anymore.
I mean, look at Bray Wyatt. He had like how many losses? Like 300 and something compared to like 14 in 1 year. 300 losses.
Then
something like
look
that.
at Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Kurt Hawkins had one of the best storylines, the craziest losing streak in probably history, and he's already a dud. They're already a dud on Raw. I've seen more Revival and other tag teams on Raw in the last couple weeks since WrestleMania than the actual damn tag team champions.
You know what it is that WWE doesn't want the wrestlers to create anything anymore. Because you remember back in the day when the wrestlers used to have their own web series, like The Miz and Morrison.
True Hollywood Story.
Prime Time had their own.
Which was hilarious.
And I used to
love those.
They used to feud back and forth. I feel like what WWE should do is let these performers use their characters to create their own shows, just like it was back in the day.
That's the thing.
And because we have a network, like Firefly Funhouse, that could be on the network at any time.
The thing about that is, WWE doesn't want to give people that freedom because they want to copyright it within their own self so they can continue to make that money. That's why something like the Broken Gimmick had to be reworked as Woken because WWE wants to cash in. And that's the fucking problem. You guys are getting Saudi Arabia money, you're getting that gasoline money, and you're giving us a pay-per-view that nobody wants.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Nobody wants those pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia. Nobody cares for them. They don't even make sense in the story on the main shows. Those are alternate universes. And once again, you're using those as a way to spotlight Hall of Famers and people who haven't been around in 10, 15 years and stuff like that. That's what you want to highlight on them bullshit shows, bringing them up. And once again, putting your talent to the side that week in and week out, they're there. I don't understand how you guys don't fix that situation. It's ridiculous already.
Absolutely ridiculous.
The state of WWE is just horrible, and that's why at Kayfabe Ave we're trying to like refocus a little bit, and we want to bring you guys more AEW news. We want to bring you guys more independent wrestling because at this point we have to seek alternatives. Now, we're hoping that this lights a fire in WWE because quite honestly, I love 90% of the roster that they have, but I'm just not invested in nothing, and they just keep insulting our intelligence as wrestling fans, especially the fans who have been watching for 10 plus years,
right.
You know, who live and breathe the business. You know, it's just ridiculous.
It's very ridiculous because as fans, you know, we're very invested not only with money but with our time because we can use our time to watch other things that we like that actually give us enjoyment and such. And I feel like the company needs to really see where the real priorities are and trim the fat on certain things that it's been doing, like having absentee champions, not invoking the 30-day match rule, making
30-day no compete rule.
Yeah, that one. Making what like rule changes, like no rematches. So that means they can't be like a series, which I understand, but we need some rematches sometimes.
Then the wild card rule. We didn't get to really elaborate on what the wild card rule is. It was pretty much a bullshit way to have people from Raw go on SmackDown and SmackDown go on Raw, only allowing 3 superstars. Yet they broke it in the same night when they showed 5 superstars that night. So this is how stupid the writing and how stupid the rules are in WWE right now. If Vince McMahon says up to 3 people, yet we get Kofi, Daniel Bryan, who else showed up that night? Lars Sullivan, Elias, that's already 4. Who was the 5th one? Roman Reigns. 5 people on the night you invoke this rule. It's bullshit. Merge the brands. Bring the titles down. And if you're not gonna bring the number of titles down, then have the champions be able to cross over episodes. If you're not gonna merge the brands, like,
and start using more NXT, but don't change the storyline. Okay.
I won't even. Let's not even talk about that. I actually like NXT, and every time they bring up a new NXT star, like the War Raiders. Oh, excuse me, the Viking Experience. No, excuse me, the Viking Raiders. So how stupid that was? That was in a matter of what, 1 week?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. They're NXT Tag Team Champions, and you bring them up on Monday Night Raw, and you change their entire name and look for that matter. What the fuck is your problem? People watch NXT and enjoy it much more than fucking Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. You guys are here changing them to the Viking Experience. Now I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. I was like, if Sarah Logan joins the War Raiders and they make it a stable with her involved, I can understand Viking Experience. But you change the current NXT Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders, to the Viking Experience. Oh, right. Realize that Twitter and Instagram destroyed you guys over that dumbass decision. You changed it to the Viking Raiders. Do better.
You really need to do better.
You really need to do better.
The viewership is going down, and you gotta hope that you get the ratings from Fox, because you don't want to get canceled.
You know what's that, to have a brand new network? You get millions of dollars for being on that network, and for the first time in history, you face cancellation.
Horrible.
3 million viewers, and you were below like 1.4 million. Hit the lowest viewership on SmackDown history. Do better. We love the WWE, but it's just too much. Again, as far as Kayfabe Avenue, we will be bringing you weekly content. Again, YouTube has changed their rules, so we cannot go live anymore. But we'll bring you more edited content. Try to update the visuals as always. We try to give you bigger and better things, and we're definitely gonna refocus on AEW as it comes along. They recently talked about a TV deal, and there's been a lot of stuff coming out of AEW, but we're gonna talk about that in our.
There's a lot of stuff coming out of everywhere.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about that in the new segment of Kayfabe Avenue. Check for that video coming out shortly after this one drops. Any last words for the people out there, the wrestling community?
I mean, remember, you could always have us right in your home. All you gotta do is
like, subscribe, and follow Kayfabe AJ, Kayfabe_AJ on Instagram, Kayfabe_Focus on Instagram. Like the channel, subscribe.
Kayfabe_Ave for rich people.
And Bray Wyatt promo to end the Yowie Wowie.
Yowie Wowie.
And that was Kayfabe Ave.
Goodbye and good Mwah.